Welcome to a special presentation of Iconic Production. We have so much snow in Colorado Springs right now. We are under another winter advisory that we are tonight coming at you all from the warmth and safety of our own homes. And we have decided that tonight, instead of doing our normal Torg Tuesdays, we are going to be doing a just a special kind of intro to the Corelands, which is a new setting that I am kind of developing for one of my for my home Pathfinder 2 game, for my home 2nd edition D&D game, and we've got some iconic friends to join us tonight. And guys, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves for who is playing tonight and sort of what you will be playing. I will be explaining to Mark who he is playing, but we will get to that in a second.
All right, I shall start. My name is Ben Feehan. I am a longtime friend of Jam's, probably actually not quite as long as the others here in this chat, in this group. But he's been my GM for a number of games for a number of years, and only recently have we not actually been in an ongoing campaign. So it's good to get back and be playing again. I am playing Nikolai, let's see here, an angelic bloodline sorcerer.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you require any additional information regarding?
I do not.
All right.
Cool. I'm Becca. You will recognize me from most nights on Iconic here. I am playing a cleric named Lena, and I have enjoyed Pathfinder and Fantasy Grounds, which we're using, which is pretty cool.
We are using Fantasy Grounds. I'm pretty excited about it.
So yeah, that's what I got going on.
Mark, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Mark. You'll recognize me from Iconic and also from the normal Tuesday night tour game, which we're not playing because it's not good to be out on the roads right now. And I'm playing a thief of some stripe, but I do not know.
You should be able to select it now.
I see Lena and Nikolai. I do not see character in my character box.
There should be
The unnamed.
an unnamed person for you.
No.
Give it a second to kind of spool back up for you. Because I see someone owned by Mark P.
Hey, level 1 server name?
Yep, you're gonna have to change your character's name to something else. But so what's also interesting for this is none of you have ever actually even played in the Corelands before. This is the first time that it is actually being seen at all. So basically the idea that we're doing tonight is, hey, if we can't make it for weather, we have a bunch of people who can't make it, we're going to just come back to the Corelands with whoever we can get, and we're going to run through another adventure in the Corelands and just kind of see what's going on. So thank you all for joining me on this. Some of you may know that I am in the process of writing a role-playing game in a role-playing game world that hopefully will be released next year. This is set 3,000 years after that. You guys have all played in Calypsis before. You all have familiarity with it. So let me give you an overview of where we are at, what is going on, and then we will just get into it. This will be also sort of a learn to play for some of you for Pathfinder 2, which should be pretty awesome. And we're going to have one other person join us possibly tonight. We may have a mystery guest. Who knows?
Cool.
Yeah, there's an unnamed box still. I named my character Leon, the rogue bounty hunter.
That's right. What's a rogue bounty hunter? Never mind. Old angel joke. What are you? I'm a rogue demon hunter. What's a rogue demon? So, the Corelands exists at this crossroads on a major continent between sort of the old world to the east. To the east of the Corelands is a large desert, and sort of beyond that is the lands of Old Melkone. So Melkone was a great civilization in this world, civilization of humans, kind of rose and fell a couple of thousand years ago. And humans have sort of migrated west from what was called the land of the Zaharets, the land of risings, where sort of humanity first got its first foothold here in Calypsis. So, do that just to get my... Come on.
So having played in the Zaharets before, I'm somewhat familiar with the lands. This sounds like it's much later in history.
This is 3,000 years later, yes.
Poor Melkone.
Poor Melkone. It has been overrun by beastmen and monsters, and...
Impossible. Impossible.
Sorry,
maybe someday we'll play about, 1,500 years ago, Mark, and you can see what happened. But...
I'll hold the pass.
In the Corelands, the humans who settled here are sort of a mixture of Melkone, who have a very Greek flair to them, Luathi, who have a very sort of Hebrew ethnicity to them, and then a group known as the Sanaeans, who are very much like your Turks or your Mongols. So they've been blending together for the last 1,000 years or so. In recent history, what you guys need to know is that this area used to be held by one of the Hunnic mansions, one of the great Hunnic empires of Calypsis. And about 1,300 years ago, after the cataclysm of silence and the sundering of the Northern Throne, the Huns started to fade even more from this area and slowly turned the running of their empire over to half Han and their human servitors, until finally one day they closed the gates to their mansions, and after about 100 years, humanity just kind of fractured. All of the bureaucracy, all of the learning and the knowledge of the Golden Incarnate just fell away, and humanity fractured into a number of different smaller kingdoms and city-states here. About 400 years ago, a seagoing peoples known as the Tenali arrived here on the shore of the Corelands. They are called that in history because Tenal the Great was the first king of these people, and he brought peace to the land on the coast, calling it Panthalis, meaning from the sea. Panthalis sort of ruled this coastal area around several other small human kingdoms and city-states until about 60 years ago, when a civil war racked Panthalis, and the three western provinces ceded from Panthalis, forming the kingdom of Breckenall. And that is where we are going to start our game. Breckenall is very new. The queen who led the revolt against her brother's tyranny, Queen Reva, has just passed. Her son, Ravan, is on the throne. And it is sort of a time of peace, but we shall see. The capital city of Elvarek is where we are located on the Knossos River. So, because we have two people who have divine sort of favors to them, what you need to know about the religions of the Corelands is about 1,500 years ago, Abacus ben Usif rose in Melkone and sort of reinterpreted the Shalafar, or the scriptures of the Luathi. and in doing so, spun up this understanding of the high heavens and how the world actually works. And after Imbacchus sort of he was betrayed and slain, and came back and led a crusade against the great gates of Enekgotaru in the north. And that is a story for another time. But basically, the Church of the High Heavens is what exists in Calypsis at this point. There are no gods worshipped by humanity. You have people who are invested and venerate different saints. So, for example, Becca, your character venerates Saint Vahan the Shield. He is known for basically as a psychopomp. He wards the souls of those who die as they journey from this life into where they have been decreed to go. So souls weighed down by sin and rejection of the high heavens sink into the abyss below, while those who have lived virtuous lives and follow the tenets of the high heavens and of Alwayn ascend into the high heavens to join with him until the remaking of the world. Now, what does that mean for Ben's character? Well, Ben, you're not entirely sure. Nikolai, you have at some point some saint's blood, maybe. Some being from the high heavens has come down and invested your bloodline with a touch of the law and order of the high heavens. What are you thinking? What sounds good to you? Are you descended from a saint? Or is this some sort of blessing that was bestowed upon you by some great being? Is it a blessing of Alwayn, as long as your family remains faithful, that you have the ability to call on this power? What are you thinking?
Genetic sainthood seems sort of not really in keeping with the world.
It would not be genetic. It would be more bloodline and sort of like the hierarchy, sort of like a chosen bloodline.
Sounds like a made-up bloodline.
All bloodlines are
related
made
to
up.
that saint. Yes.
You said there was that. There was also the option of being blessed or something that's bestowed. I like the idea of it being bestowed.
It could be sort of like the line of Joseph of Arimathea, who has taken over stewardship of something, and therefore.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can dig that.
You can dig that?
Yeah.
All right. So your bloodline is the guardian. Is it of a place or a thing?
Let's say a thing.
All right.
This should be a relic.
Thing 1 or thing 2?
Thing 2 is the better thing.
Is.
All right. So, and then Mark, we have set up for you a ruffian. So that's a thief that you're not so much of the sneaky backstabbing thief. You are more of the brute squad thief, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they were going to be ready-made. I was already thinking, I'll be a dwarf thief, which is more of a scout type. Find things or find people.
Do they have dwarves
Find
here?
things or- I didn't know we were playing in this world. He was like, hey, you want to do Pathfinder? I was like,
That's
sure.
right.
I
This
didn't know we were
was-
playing in this world. He was like, hey, you want to do
The weather turned
right.
rather This was- quickly today. The weather turned rather quickly
Yes.
today. So. The weather turned rather.
No, this is cool. That's cool. Yeah, I
I
don't want to steal anyone's pants, so I will. Yeah.
So.
There's more of the thuggy and sneak, but he's not going to be
Yes, you
doing.
get to, you, as a ruffian, you get to do sneak attack damage with any simple weapon that you have, including your mace. You jog his memory.
Works for me. No,
All
sir, I
right.
didn't cut him.
So, you guys are there in Alvarek. Now, Alvarek is a mighty city that was built about 300 years ago. It serves kind of the capital of the western provinces. It was built on the site of an old human town from the Golden Incarnate. When that kind of fell, it was, it's at the end of a river. It's at the mouth of a river. It's at the coast. It's just sort of a natural trade roads to. It sits right on the western side of the Corelands, which means the Vendy Wilds, which is this vast plain of forest and mountains that is barely held onto by humanity. What exists out there really is sort of beyond the purview of the Corelands. But if you choose to head out there, who am I to stop you? So all of you are sitting there in. I'm getting dings. Those are not my dings. Those are other people's dings.
Hey, yes, it's not all yellow dark.
Yes, apparently my witness protection has failed me, and the hitmen are coming for me now because they can see my face.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ben. It was wonderful while it lasted.
It's okay. Maybe I can get them to hold off until we finish the stream or something.
So you are sitting in an inn known as the Takan's Bounty. Not so much as in what they are, what they produce, but more sort of in that there used to be in the area a standing bounty on beastmen heads.
Oh.
And this is the name of the inn. It's actually not a great inn.
I like it.
You guys are in the harbor district. You can hear the sounds of the water as it laps up against the docks. You can hear the sounds of the dock workers yelling back and forth. Even hear several blocks from the harbor. Just the sounds, and more importantly, the smells of the harbor kind of fill the Takan's Bounty.
Question. You said there used to be a open bounty on Takan heads. There is no longer?
There is no longer.
Breckenall
has its own things to deal with, and the ancient custom is not observed in Breckenall anymore.
Is
But we
that
still have
because
Takan?
Takan exists, or
Oh, they still exist.
Damn it.
I was gonna say people just be falling down the job for the last 3,000 years.
Oh, no matter how often people have put beastmen to the sword and brought in heads for coins, there always are more to con. You know, bred in the dark places of the world, that sort of thing. So, the three of you are sitting there in this kind of skeezy inn. There's a layer of film on the floor that you're not quite sure if it's beer or urine or vomit or some delightful melange of all three.
Yes.
Gross.
We are here to bring the cleansing light of Alwayn to this terrible place.
Oh, please tell me that's not your voice.
What is wrong with my voice?
Earlier this week you had a cold and you dropped like a full octave. I thought it was finally time. I thought it finally happened.
Oh, yes, this is my actual voice.
And as you sort of look around, Leon, you definitely know that, the Takan's Bounty is one of those places where the Thieves Guild will post jobs in sort of the usual manner. You know that there is, in one of the back rooms, there is a fake beer barrel where they will post jobs on the inside. You kind of turn the spout and open it up, and they've got like listings for postings. There's a bard in the corner who definitely, little pitchy, but is singing about the lost tombs of the forefathers you've never heard this story before. And Lena, you definitely also notice that there are at least 2 other saints, servants of the saints here. Both of them serve Saint Elkan, who is the saint of patron saint of sailors and storms.
Yes, I am familiar with him and his worshippers, his followers. I guess he isn't quite worshipped. His followers. I think we get along all right.
Yeah,
Elkan and Vahan.
that's probably fair.
I did not know that this was such a popular place with so many of the clergy.
Yeah, apparently.
Had I known, perhaps I would have come here earlier.
No, it's.
I would have brought my brother and my sister.
I need another round. Leon, will you get us some more beer?
Also, what are we doing here?
I signal. The camera. Signal one of the tavern people.
I believe, in the common parlance, they are known as wenches.
No, they're not. I understand that you've kind of been out on your own lands for some time. But maybe not try to do the this is what they say. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I suppose you would know best.
Mm-hmm.
You do see
Yeah.
several serving lads walking around the inn in sort of kind of the typical, harborside fare. So hose, long sort of tunics belted around the waist. None of it looks especially clean or well prepared, well tended. They have not been darned in quite a while. Ah, welcome. What can I get you? Anything else?
I guess I would like to know if there's anything you need done around the place. I find myself short of funds.
Also, what is your house beverage?
How old are you?
Well, the house beverage is a fine Breckenall stout. We sort of brew it ourselves.
Sort of brew it yourselves.
We could get you some Panthalis Red, but of course, we'd have to bleed it from you first if that's what you would order.
I don't recommend that one.
Oh, I shall take the other one.
Breckenall stout it is, and you?
Beer.
Beer? Any nods to you, Lena?
Beer, yes.
All right, he takes your orders and walks away.
So, were we expecting to meet someone here?
You were
Awesome.
not. This was just sort of where you have gathered for the evening. Meeting in an inn, in a tavern, so to speak.
I
A
see.
time-honored tradition.
It is. I get up and I'll be right back. And I make my way back to the back room and the special barrel.
Excellent.
Good. I hope he finds us a better job than last time.
What was your last job?
They were rats. It was not pleasant.
Leon, as you kind of look back there, you can see there are definitely 3 things sort of in the area that kind of stand out to you. there is sort of a an letter that has been nailed there most recently. It's kind of sitting on top of everything. You can see that it is. It's got a diamond painted in green on top of it, and it says, "Join Desnia's Resurgent. Good pay, good work, good for the soul. Inquire at Ven's after midnight." And it just says second story, Straight Street. There is a request for in the guild parlance, someone has stolen something from the Order of the Ruby Blades, which is is the small mages college that was started up here in Breckenall about 30 years ago. They specialize in magic of stars and sky sort of traditions. And it turns out somebody has stolen something from the Order of the Ruby Blade and is blaming the Thieves Guild. And so Crag
is in the name,
who is one of the underbosses. Crag has put out the call that anybody who wants to help, clear the guild's good name and perhaps perforate the thief who is blaming them for this, to check in with him, Sewer Junction 17C. The rest is just odds and ends. Grabbing some grabbing some acid lizard livers from the sewers for one of the local alchemists. She's paying good silver, but from the last time that the acid lizards of the sewers are not necessarily. It's good reward if you can get past the good risk. And then there's one at the bottom. It looks a little old, but the Ragger's hold is running a little light, and so they're willing to buy goods off people. And it says that they're leaving tomorrow night. Basically, they're a smuggler ship, and they're willing to take any good person or transport to fill out their holds.
Where are they going?
He's in the back room. So they
Right.
bring the stouts back to you, Leon, and to you, Lena. And at this point, the bard gets strangely specific about how the tomb of the forebears were shrouded by one of the great forest spirits east of where the mighty river cuts through the lands that would be claimed by the Tenali. And that for bringing order to the land, one of the great spirits of the forest promised to raise a new child over this tomb and shroud it forever in brown and golds and greens to protect Tanal's spirit and form and treasure. But that any who seek the tomb of the forebears need only follow the golden leaves of the forest, for that is the path that the spirits take to the lands of silence and the dead. And there's one guy who is definitely a groupie, who just like when the song finishes, just stands up and like big hand claps and is whooping and is throwing coins and then awkwardly realizes that no one else is cheering.
But he has coin.
He does have coin. And Lena,
Probably his dad.
one of the other saints, one of the other clerics, sort of nods in your direction, raises a cup of wine to you.
I nod in return. You know, and this is to the two who are back with me. I was all set on finding that tomb until he talked about spirits going to the place of the dead, and yeah, that's really not something you want to mess with.
Do you think it's metaphorical? Like the place of the dead is actually like just like a graveyard?
No. The dead go places once they're dead,
Right, I mean,
and we don't want to follow them.
well, yes, but I meant as in a place that we could go without dying.
It's an idea. Maybe get more information.
Do we know this bard at all?
Give me a society roll, Ben.
Let's see if I know anything about society. All right.
Right?
First
No.
roll of the night.
First roll of the
Yeah.
night.
I am trained in society. I rolled a 4 for a total of 7.
You've never heard of this guy.
Has
Leon.
any-
Oh, go
the
ahead.
rest, has anyone else heard of him either?
So, just a question. This will be a rules question. Skills tab. If it's got T in the proficiency, that means I'm trained in it.
That does mean
Yes,
you're trained
sir.
in it, yes.
So, I get a bonus for the stat, and is it plus? What do the different numbers represent?
So it's all set up in there for you. So the trained is your proficiency bonus, and then it tells you what stat you're rolling for it. So if you just double click on the total, it'll give you it'll roll it for you.
Okay. So the trained is +3, and then my dex and strength, whatever,
Yep.
is added. Okay. Yeah, I see the icon that you click to get the die roll. I was trying to understand these new Pathfinder. These are 2 rules.
Yep. Pathfinder 2.
Very good.
I mean, I can see, but I highly doubt it. I'm not trained in any society.
All right. Well, why don't both of you give me a perception roll while you're waiting for Leon to come back
So, what were the society rolls for?
to see if you recognize the bard.
Oh, I will make that roll as I come to sit down with my jobs that I plucked out. I
Okay.
took the Ruby Blades one and joined Desrius Resurgent Bends. I kind of made a note of those. Ratter's Hold, maybe not, but I will make a society roll. I am trained in that. Ooh, 13.
That's better than mine.
All right. Well, Nikolai and Lena, Lena, you notice that this bard definitely has a small ruby pin, like red enameled pin that is holding his cloak together.
So could I assume he's with the Ruby Blades?
You could assume that he's at least trained at the college. Not everyone
Okay.
who comes out of the college actually is a wizard,
Right.
but and Leon, you definitely recognize this guy Istvan. He's been in a couple of the dives that you frequent. What you do know about him is the guy seems to have a lot of, like, he's not popular because, one, because he's not very good, and two, because he seems to enjoy putting together songs based off of, like, obscure history that he's researched at the college and then thought this would be a great song. And so the places that you frequent tend to go for more of the body sort of dirty limerick song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The tomb he was singing about, would that be lore or occultism?
So occultism would give you a little bit of an insight.
Probably lore.
It depends on what your lore is in.
Oh, that would be underneath. Okay, never mind. Lore legal. Gotcha.
Occultism
that
would
now.
be ancient philosophies, esoteric lore, that sort of thing. So yes, that would work here.
Yeah, just about the tomb and the undead and that kind of thing. So, just see if I know anything about it with an 18.
Oh, I mean, the Tomb of the Forebearers. It frequents enough of sort of the local legends of Punthalis and Breckenall. Like both of the royal lines trace their ancestry back to Tanal, and you guys know that when Tanal's grandson took the throne, because Tanal was apparently vigorous for years beyond numbering, that it wasn't until he stepped aside for his granddaughter that he and his son kind of continued going on in what they were doing, taking out the Takan tribes and kind of bringing order to this area. And he was slain in a great battle in the Riverlands, kind of to the northeast of here, defending the gate of one of the Honic mansions from a Takan and Lycanthrope attack. But that his body and that of his son were never found. And about 20 or 30 years later, these legends of the Tomb of the Forebearers started to arise. His great weapons, his armor, that of the knights who fought with him, and sort of the whole army that obliterated this Takan assault on this Honic mansion. No one really knows what happens to them. So you don't even really know if the Tomb of the Forebearers is a reality or not. It's just sort of one of those, well, yeah, you know, Tanal went to Avalon. I mean, to the Tomb of the Forebearers. And someday he'll come back, put things to right. He and the Shining Legion. Now eat all of your peas and go to bed, young Leon. That sort of thing.
So what do you got for us, Liam? Where are we going?
Well, there are a couple of jobs that look okay. Request to retrieve something for the Ruby Blade. Something was stolen. They're blaming the guild. The guild wants to clear their name.
So it wasn't the guild?
Oh, that's where Crag is putting his money on. Or we can join Desrius Resurgent. Vens at midnight, second story. Didn't get too specific about what. Green diamond on the letter. I'll show him the letter. Ratter's Hole is looking for something to smuggle out if we find stuff.
Do I recognize the name Desviet?
Desnia?
Desnia, yes.
Yeah, give me a society roll, Ben.
Another society roll. All right. 20.
Hey.
All right. Nikolai, you kind of... Let me ask you this. So Nikolai, where does he fall? Is he like a loyal... like a Breckenall loyalist? Is he... does his family have more ties back to Punthalis across the river? Do you kind of want to, like, are you like a do you want to see the two nations or kingdoms kind of brought back in?
Well, I think that as with my family as protectors of an ancient relic of the Church of High Heaven, I would like to see peace between the two nations, separated, or cities, separated though they are by a river.
All right. Then you have definitely heard of Desnia. Desnia was she was the Duchess here in the West before the Civil War. And she was definitely when Riva came and claimed the West Duchies, Desnia was very much in against the Civil War, and so she sort of was. It is said that Desnia still lives in the Citadel, but that was 60 years ago, and she wasn't a well woman to begin with.
I see.
So she's sort of the symbol of kind of this anti-Breckenall, pro-unification.
Huh. Okay. Well. Interesting. So basically, probably they're a group that's they're recruiting people for. Okay, for a new movement. If we're looking for money, I'm guessing that probably this Desnia resurgent sounds more like idealists. I like people with ideals, people who believe in things. But,
They're usually poor.
right, exactly. I mean, maybe they're not. Maybe they have some rich benefactor. But if Lena and Leon are looking for a payday, then probably not them. Just saying.
Probably not. I mean, ideals are great. One could say I'm a bit of an idealist myself, but I also feel I'm rather practical. We're all gonna die, we might as well enjoy life now.
but then we go to the high heavens, do we not?
Yes, we do, of course.
And enjoy eternal bliss there.
Naturally.
So, it's if dying's not so bad. That's all.
You are correct, dying is not so bad. I'm still young yet. I'd like to survive a little bit longer.
Well,
Yes.
so of the 3 or 4,
Well, there's the tomb. There's find something to get smuggled out.
Meh.
I think they want money or something for that. I think we visit Craig in the sewer and see what the job is to clear the crack. Find a thief if he did steal something from the Boogie Blades.
all right.
Wrong
So
button.
right now we're looking at sewer or tomb.
Apparently.
I hope you brought your rubber boots.
Well, if those are the two choices, I'd rather go on this fairy tale hunt for the tombs than go back down into the sewers. But
I can
you
go down in
both-
the sewers and make the deal if you want.
if you both want to head into the sewers, I'll join you.
I mean, sure. What's you seem like a man of action, Leon, who's done this sort of thing before. What do you think is a good option? Bearing in mind that while I may wield the power of the divine, I have not in fact done this sort of thing before.
I had no idea.
Well, I can always go down and talk to Craig and see what the job is if you don't want to enter the sewers.
No, we might as well all go together.
Right.
Show you have a team.
And if something goes badly, it would be good to have us there. All right, then let's
Maybe.
go see Crag in the sewers.
I take it I've been down to the sewers, so I know how to find sewer junction 17C.
You do know how to find sewer junction 17C.
Was that at all close to where we were looking for the stupid lizard gizzards?
Oh yeah, that one time when you went after the acid lizards. Yeah, this is
that
right.
was the mistake.
This is
we got nothing.
they're always there, but again, it was one of those things where you definitely ended up paying more for healing than you did for than you made on the job.
Yeah. All right. Cool. If you see a acid lizard, book it.
All right. To the sewers.
Yay!
All right. So you guys are heading down into the sewers. As you head out into the streets, you definitely hear the sounds of there is a cleric who is calling out in the streets the cry of crusade that the heptarch of the lumen, the high holy font of the church of the high heavens is Lazarius the Pious is building a call for crusade against, and nobody really, like, at that point, he just kind of falters a little bit, against the enemies of all who stand in the light of the high heavens. And he points to you, Nikolai, as you walk by. You know what of which I speak. You know that soon Heptarch Lasarius will let us know where we march, for we march east into the light of dawn.
That does sound lovely. You'll have to send us a postcard.
A what?
A note saying how it goes.
No, you must go with us.
I'm actually going down into the sewers, so I will have to.
Why?
Reasons?
I
Lizard?
grabbed Nikolai's sleeve. Come along. Ignore everything he said. I turned to the cleric in the street. Never mind this one. Come along. And as we get away, Nikolai, don't tell people we're going into the sewers. It's not what we announce.
Oh. Well, I suspect, though, that he, like most residents of the city, would prefer if there were fewer acid lizards crawling out of the latrines.
You never know.
Yes.
So,
All right. So, Mark, Leon, I should say, you know that this sewer junction is under the harbor. In fact, the reason you know this is because, well, more than a few times you have had the pleasure of using one of the docks that exist sort of down below. There are a number of sea caverns kind of under the cliff that Elveric sits on. And there are more than a few little underwater jetties where your guild may or may not have tariff avoiding ports of call, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where this is. And as you guys kind of head down into the sewers, you know kind of how to access these things. There are several, I mean, it's not just a matter of going up to one of like a manhole cover or a grate. There are controlled access points into the Undercity. Many of them are operated by the Ash-Faced, which is the guild of, not so much the sewer cleaners, but they take care of build-ups underneath. I don't really want to go into it.
Becca looks thrilled.
Yeah. No, this is everything I've ever hoped for and more. Yes, I love this type of thing. It's my favorite. Question, Nikolai, how old are you?
Well, a few months ago, I celebrated my 19th my 19th year.
Goody.
Yes. Well, I figured it was time that I got out of the priory and saw the world.
You didn't happen to have your priory up on a mountain, did you?
No, not at all. It's just across the river.
Maybe surrounded by for 7 years. No?
Yeah, how long were you there?
19 years?
Oh.
I was born there?
Alright, just checking. I mean, you're a delight, don't get me wrong. I'm really glad we're on the same team. You just seem like this is a new experience for you.
Yes, indeed. And I intend to absorb every moment of it. And
Well, you're definitely doing a lot of absorbing as
That's
Leon
enough.
lifts up one of the...
Yeah, I open the hatch that will lead us in initially, and I say, yeah, speaking of absorbing, are those your favorite boots?
yes, but
You might want to switch before we go down.
I can tell already. This is something I shall not soon forget.
No.
Something like that.
No, you won't.
All right. Well, the smell that Leon has discovered is exquisitely unique.
Piquant.
Yes. So you guys know that the Paleface Guild kind of goes down there. They, in addition to being sort of the caretakers of the Undercity, they are the guild that also deals with sort of the natural gas pockets and enables Elvarek to kind of have this. It is rare in the Corelands to have a city as well lit as night as Elvarek. And so you know that the Palefaces, they also hire adventurers, especially if there's something in the Undercity that they can't handle. And much like most places in any Fantasy 20 world, the Undercity is usually home to the things that can't live in the city proper. So, warning to those who delve below. I'm looking at you three.
Thanks.
So, Leon, you have
Everyone.
found one of the access points. It's kind of behind the Takan's Bounty in its stables. You're not sure what was stabled there before, but it definitely died and is probably still rotting there. But you find the iron ring, rusted though it may be and pitted, and lift up the sewer access, and the three of you head down. Now, in Pathfinder 2, they have kind of 3 different modes, and exploration mode is kind of how you guys are going through, looking for where you're trying to find. So, Leon, let me ask you this. As you lead these two through the sewers to the sewer junction that you are looking for and to them, how does Leon kind of approach this?
As far as like being perceptive or stealthy,
How are you moving down? How are you moving down through the sewers?
I'm definitely more perceptive. I don't need to be stealthy. We're here on a job. I'm not trying to get somewhere unseen.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be more perceptive, either to look for lookouts from the ash faces, the acid lizards, or just general muck that I really don't want to step
All right. So you're just trying to keep an eye out. Are you kind of in the lead?
I would assume so, since I'm leading them to 17C.
All right. Nikolai, you have uncovered a wondrous bouquet of smells and sounds, but more importantly, smells. How are you moving through the sewers?
My options are perceptive or stealthy.
No, you just tell me how is Nikolai kind of moving through the sewers?
I assume we have some sort of light, like a lantern.
I believe both you and Lena have the light cantrip that you could be using.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, then I shall light it up.
It's not flammable, right? It's just a glowing.
It's just a glowing thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
I will warn. That's okay. Open flames, not so much.
Good to know. In that case, I am pausing at every cross section to peer into the darkness and ask Leon again, what's down this way, etc.
I'll just give them general. Oh, that goes to the tap house. That goes uptown. But you don't want to go down that way.
I also want to know what happens if someone mispronounces the Ash Faces title. I feel like there is a very small margin for error in their particular chosen name.
The Pale Faces?
But weren't they also called the Ash Faces a moment ago?
They were. Are you going to ever call them that to their face?
No, but if I do, I'll make sure to enunciate the
Enunciate
H in the
the H.
Maybe it's better if you just listen and observe instead of speaking.
Lena, what are you doing?
Okay.
I'm walking behind these two, just keeping an eye out, super ready for any acid lizards because, oh my gosh, I hate them so much.
All right, so what I would like...
So I figure I'm third in the marching order.
In the marching order?
Yeah, just kind of keeping my eye out.
Yeah.
Making sure nothing really pops up behind us and keeping my eye out for any signs that there are acid lizards around.
You really hooked on those acid lizards.
I am, man. Lena, she's had nightmares.
It only takes one time of them crawling out of the latrine while you're using it.
Yeah.
Got mace
one way
in
to
one
put it.
hand and dagger in the other, so I can
All right.
throw one and swing the other.
Did you guys get the...
Yes.
I got the map.
You got the map.
I got
All
the
right,
map.
so I need all of you to give me a perception roll, but go ahead and use the perception on your main character sheet. Or on the main tab, you'll see that there's perception and there is stealth. So I want you to use that one. So the initiative version of it. All right.
Oh, good. It's okay. Not that one. I want this one.
Eyes on the prize, guys.
16.
Oh.
Ho ho! All right. Well, as you head down, Leon, you've kind of come to the main you've come to junction 17A. You know that B is to your right and C is kind of down the path to the left. You also know there's at least one or two of the small smugglers' jetties down here. But you also hear except for Lena, who is so focused on hearing it that she misses it, the unmistakable kind of hissing rattle
Of acid lizards.
of a trio of acid lizards. And
I
these
see
things...
their eggs and I freak out a little. It's fine.
So, Leon, this is your first time playing Pathfinder 2, correct?
Pathfinder 2, yes. I played
All right. So I think you're going to like it.
into Pathfinder.
So the main difference between this and any other kind of F20 game that we have usually played is that instead of having like a standard, and a move action, you get 3 actions. Do whatever you want with them. If you end up making more than one attack, what you'll notice on your action tab is there's like the first column is first attack, the second column is your second attack, and the third column is your third attack. So you'll see it's a -5 to each one after that. Actions all the way at on the bottom of the...
Oh, way in the bottom. Okay, there
Yep.
we go.
And
Action.
you see how there's 3 columns? So that's if you want to make more than one attack. Now, I will say this, that you also... if you exceed a target number, in this case an AC by 10, you will critically succeed. And if you miss a target number by 10, you critically fail.
Okay.
So what would you like to do on your turn?
So these are 5-foot squares?
They are 5-foot squares.
Okay, my range of my dagger is 10, so that would be 10, 20, 30. So that's going to be like minus what? If I just stood here and threw my dagger at...
If
I
you
say
just stood there and
Acid
threw your
Lizard
dagger, you would definitely be at -4.
Okay.
You can move up. Your speed is 25.
So I'd have to take 2 movements to reach...
You would have to take
Acid
2
Lizard
movements
1.
to reach there, yes.
So that'd be 2 of my 3 actions.
Correct.
And then my swing would be at -4, because that'd be
Nope.
the 3rd action.
No, it's not your 3rd action. It would be if it was your 3rd attack.
Okay. Gotcha. But I could move to Lizard 3 in 1 action.
You could.
Okay. I move here. And I will swing with my mace
All right, go
at
for it.
Acid Lizard. Okay, each one has its own little die.
Yep. So roll for the first column because it's your first
Yep.
attack.
So as I move forward, I will announce Acid Lizards. So everyone knows. There's an 18. Oh, I didn't target it. Sorry.
No, that's fine. An 18 definitely hits. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll your damage.
Just like the other one, though, right? I can target.
Yes, you should be able to target.
Control. Okay.
Yep.
I'll do it next time, so I don't want to. Do I click on the 1d6 bludgeoning box?
Yes. Wow! A mighty blow!
Thwack. The wet thwack of a acid lizard meeting mace.
He definitely meets the mace. You see, he says he's a thief. He seems a bit lumbery for a thief. But as Leon crosses the distance, he definitely brings the mace down, and you can hear bones break beneath the acid lizard's skin. Mark, you have 1 action left. What would you like to do with it?
Oh, that's right.
Hey.
Now, if I may make one suggestion to you,
Yes.
if you'll notice your gauntlet does not suffer the same penalties that your mace does because it's an agile weapon. So if you end up taking a smack at it with your spiked gauntlet, you're only at
0.
You're at 0 instead of at -1.
Okay. Now it also has it. If I melee with my dagger, it says 0.
Yes, because they're both agile weapons.
Okay. Now I also noticed, clicking back and forth, my AC went up. Is that because I haven't used all my actions?
No, it's because you weren't actually. I had to get your training put in there for you.
Okay, yeah, because it jumped. I was like, oh,
Yep.
nice. Okay. Does the same damage. Yes, I will punch it with my spike gauntlet. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does not hit. You kind of bring it down and it rears back and you can see the frills under its neck that sort of like pop and hiss as whatever glands down there are starting to work overtime.
Gotcha.
Nikolai, you are up.
All right.
Acid lizards!
So, question. I assume my light goes out if I use another spell?
If you use another sustained spell.
Gotcha. So I could still hold it in my hand and then use my other hand to
Yes.
cast.
Well, and actually, so when you cast light, you actually cast light on an object. And it
Oh.
lasts until the next time you make your daily preparation. So it lasts 24 hours.
Okay. Well,
What
I
What did you light up?
I am going to say that I have lighted up how about a sort of thick bracelet that I have,
All right. It is
Maybe
shitting light like a torch.
brass or bronze. Hold it up. All right. In that case, I will. And okay, so with the action economy, I've never actually played spellcasters with this action economy. Do you get to cast 3 times if you have the spells?
No.
Okay, that's good to know. So how does that work with spells?
Well, it depends. So if you take a look at your spells, like Disrupting Weapons costs 2 actions.
Right.
Heal costs between 1 and 3, and Ray of Enfeeblement costs 2.
Okay.
Divine Lance also costs 2.
Okay, so I could do. Okay, that's good to know. So I got 3 actions. I can move, and then Divine Lance, or I could Divine Lance and then hit something. But
Well, you're not close enough.
I was gonna
to
say
hit
I'd have
anything.
to move anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my movement here, real quick. My movement is. My speed is 25. Okay, so 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm gonna move up here.
All right.
Sticking to that sticky wall. Is that a wall?
It is a wall. It is also not sticky, but it is slimy.
Okay, excellent. Well, in that case, I am
The
going
acrid
to...
taste sort of gets you in the back of the throat.
No. I'm going to go ahead and cast Divine Lance at this Acid Lizard here, Acid Lizard 1. So, let's see here. How does that actually work in... let me take a look. Ner.
All right, so
If
Acid
you-
Lizard
Divine
1.
Lance.
So,
You unleash a beam of energy, choose your alignment, which I assume is good.
yep.
If you don't have a deity, I do have a deity. You make a ranged spell attack against the target's AC.
If you click on the microscope,
Yes.
then it brings up a
Oh, nice.
die to cast.
I see that. Well, excellent. All right. Casting 13.
Nice.
A 13 hits its AC.
All right. And then where's the damage?
Well,
There-
20.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
No,
but I'm trying to figure out how much damage I do.
I like 24.
1d the attack.
Melt his face. 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
So you're a D4 plus 4.
Okay. So should I just roll a d4 then? Or is it actually on here somewhere? I'm just going to roll a d4. That's a 5.
All right, so what does your Divine Lance look like?
It looks like a beam of pure white light that lances from my hand with a smell that is significantly better than the current surrounding.
Okay.
Not enough spells have a smell.
That is true. I appreciate that. What's the smell?
Lilies. We're going with
Smells of lilies.
Smells of lilies.
All right. Well, this acid lizard definitely hates the smell of lilies, and so comes running up to you.
Oh.
27 is a critical hit.
Oh no!
Not the acid lizard.
First time in the sewer. I'm getting wrecked.
Now you understand why I hate the sewers.
Oh, it hurts so much. Nobody
Yes.
said it would hurt this much.
I'm pretty sure I did.
It
No, you weren't specific.
it definitely does, and I need a Fortitude saving throw from you as acid gets injected into the wound.
Excellent. Okay, here we go. That's a 12. I'm guessing that's not
All right,
good.
you are actually okay.
Oh, good.
The second one is coming to hit you.
Me?
Well, no, it's second attack.
Oh, okay.
You know how it goes.
I do. He's already eating me.
All right, so it missed.
I am too fast for it.
You are fast for it. This one skitters to about here and then horks up
Ugh.
some acid at
Hork.
Lena.
Just like I didn't do anything.
Does a 24 hit you, Lena?
Yes.
For 5 points of damage.
You bugger.
It will try and hork at you one more time.
No, it doesn't want to hork.
There's a lot of hork.
But it critically misses.
Good.
Does it like choke on its spit as it
Yes.
It does not. However, it does.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
It pulls a muscle.
undo that last 7 points there, Lena. It does, however, do 5 points of damage to, 5 points of damage to the lizard next to Nikolai. It rears back for another one and then sort of slips on some of the sewage and spits acid all over its companion, enough to overcome its acid resistance.
Wow.
Leon, it's
Same
coming
team,
for you,
guys.
buddy.
Right?
A 21 hits
Yep.
Dang.
for 3 points of damage.
Does that automatically go in, or do I have to add it?
It automatically go. I've got it set to automatically go in. I need a fortitude saving throw from you, sir.
It would be under my combat tab. I can hit fortitude.
Yep.
Well, that just
Leon, it's not good.
It's not good, man.
You can
Never is.
feel the acidic venom start to course through your flesh, and you will take another 3 points of damage.
What's your health at now, Leon?
I still have 12.
Lena,
Okay.
you are up.
Ugh. Okay. Well. Goody. Well, I can't even move that far. I guess I will spend one action to move forward 20 feet. Oh, good. I can touch. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Can I reach my friend
Which one's your friend?
Nikolai?
You can reach Nikolai. He is right next to you.
Well, hello, Lena.
Hi. I would like to cast. Ooh, not harm.
Did you just say harm?
I had accidentally clicked on harm, and I was like, wait, no, that's not the one I wanted to cast on him. So if I'm reading this correctly, I have 1 heal, 2 harm, and 1 bless prepared.
Yes.
Ugh, maybe.
And actually, you have more than that, because you have a number of harms equal to your charisma modifier plus...
Oh, nice. Okay.
1. So you have 3 harms prepared.
Okay. Plus what I have here.
No, it just didn't let me give you all 3.
Okay. So I have 3 harms, 1 bless, 1 heal.
Yep.
Well, you're only at 8. You're great, kid. I take it back. I'm not going to heal him yet.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to Divine Lance, the same one he did.
Okay.
Do I click on cast or attack, Ben?
Cast, right? Oh wait, no, you have to hit the little. I rolled cast, but probably
Okay.
if you roll attack, it would actually do the damage for you.
I'm not entirely sure it will.
You hit! Roll your damage.
All right. Yes, okay, it's a wisdom modifier, which is +4. So,
I gotta tell you, I really love Fantasy Grounds.
5.
For 5
damage.
points of damage. What does it look
Yeah.
like,
Oh, good.
Lena?
What does it look like? It is. I mean, it's just another bright light because I aim my mace at it and it gets knocked back into its own acid sewerness.
Did you hit it or cast a spell at it?
I cast a spell.
What's your
through
spell
my
like?
mace.
Yeah,
It's
what
called
does your
Divine
what
Lance.
does your lance look like?
What's it smell like?
Mine doesn't smell like Jack. Yeah, it doesn't smell. It's just it's a bright white light, but you feel like on the edges of your visions you can see something else moving.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, Leon, you are up.
More lizard?
More lizards.
Always lizards.
I will
More
move
weight.
up.
All right, Leon, you move up.
And I will swing my mace again. First. I'm not targeted yet. Let me target him. So I control click. Should be targeting now, right?
Yep.
It
There we
is.
go.
You are targeting
Let's
acid
make
lizard.
it easier. Swing.
It hits. Roll your damage, sir.
Empty.
You gonna go for a second
Delivery.
attack?
Yes, then I'm going to swing in with my spike gauntlet again.
Nice.
Oh, so close.
Oh.
And I need another fortitude save from you. All right, you shake off the effects of the creature's poison. Nikolai,
next time-
you are up. Your friends have disappeared around the corner. You can definitely hear the sound of mace hitting acid lizard and spiked gauntlet scraping up the wall.
All right.
Did you just say his friends have disappeared?
I said his friend has disappeared.
Leon's gone around the
One
corner.
of his
yeah.
friends.
And as I hit it, I go, save the gizzard!
Which part is the gizzard?
I'll tell you later.
All right, I'm going to.
Nikolai is spending most of his time identifying lizard parts.
Where they hawk from?
All right, I'm going to cast attack on that one using my divine lance.
All right.
Does an 18 hit?
It does.
All
Isn't
right.
it nice when Fantasy Grounds all works right?
It
Mhm.
does.
Yeah.
All right, and for 8 points of damage.
For 8?
4 plus 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your lance drives deep into the side of this creature, and it kind of skitters back and hisses at you.
All right, and
You got one action left.
I do have one action.
Do it
I
again.
can't actually afford to do it one more time. I could if I spent focus, I guess. I could pull out my sling.
You could draw your sling as an action.
I shall do that. I shall prepare my sling.
All right. This acid lizard definitely fails its morale check and goes running for all 3 of its actions.
Stop! We need your gizzard!
Gizzardless, you are left. The other one attacks Leon. First one's a hit. Leon, the thing darts forward, doing 3 points of damage to your thigh.
Not the thigh!
It's always the thigh.
It's oddly specific.
You haven't played a lot of games with Mark, Ben.
It's always the thigh.
The second one misses. You know what? It's going all in. It's gonna try and get you one. It's gonna try a third time to get you. Oh, it missed again. Dang it. 3 times it darts out. Once it gets you right through your studded leather, right above the knee. But you've already shaken off the poison once. You don't need to worry about it again. Oh, you do. I need another fortitude save. I just watched a whole video on this. Mark, I need another fortitude save from you. Oh, no!
That's bad.
Mark, 2 more points of damage.
I'll live.
Lena, you are up.
Okay, I go stomping forward, muttering. 4. So I'm behind him. And I will cast Divine Lance again at this thing before I help my friend. Missed.
All right. Top of the round. Leon,
Kill it.
acid in your veins.
Mace.
Roll your damage, sir.
Nice.
There we go.
Status dying. All right, what's it look like, Leon?
I crush its skull. Careful not to damage the body so I can get into its gizzard.
All right. With that, the last of the acid lizards kind of slumps into the ground, skull and snout just obliterated.
Excellent. I'm hurt.
So I would like to cast healing.
Okay.
And if I do a material, somatic, and verbal,
So a 3-action heal.
a 3-action, I disperse the positive energy in a 30-foot emanation.
All
This
right.
targets all living and undead creatures.
So all of you are going to heal for how much?
1d8.
Nice.
Would you like me to roll it, or do you guys
Go
want to
for
roll it? Oh dear. Okay. I just want to preface this by everybody who watched Torg last week. The dice on Fantasy Ground are not any kinder to me.
That's true.
Yep, there it is.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Sorry. Here, have a hit point.
It's all right. I feel a little bit better. Thank you.
Now, don't forget, you can also, when you're out of combat, you can make first aid rolls using medicine.
Do I have that skill?
Anybody
Oh, I
who's
do.
trained in medicine is able to make the attempt.
I will attempt as well, because I would like
I am
my
also
friends to not be
attempting.
quite hurt.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
not.
each of you can only, each person can only be attempted on once. So who is
Right.
trying it?
I will try it on Leon.
The DC is 15, and each
Okay.
one of these attempts takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
The 1 point, Jam, have you already added that in to us, or do we have to?
I got you.
Okay.
I added mine. There we go.
All right, so Ben, you will heal 2d6
Nope,
damage.
to
from-
Leon. That was to Leon.
Oh, sorry,
but-
Leon, you will heal 2d8 damage.
Can you do it to yourself?
I think so.
You can.
All right. I shall perform first aid upon myself.
Leon, you want me to roll it for you? Oh, you got it?
Oh, nice.
Leon, you are okay.
I am going to fix myself.
No.
Do I fix myself?
You do not.
It's 15.
This is really hard to do with my mouth and one hand.
Yes,
I
it
am
is.
going to attempt it on myself as well. Well, how many times can we attempt it on ourselves?
You can only attempt it on a person once per hour.
Okay.
So Nikolai will be down those 6 points for the next hour.
I will attempt it on myself. Nope. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Lena. And while they're doing that for their time, I will collect the gizzards. Pay attention, Nikolai. This here, don't cut too deeply. This is where the acid's kept. And I collect the 2 gizzards since that's
What
also
happens
a bounty.
if you puncture the acid gizzard?
It's fantastic.
I point to his wounds. That's what's happened.
Oh,
All right, so Leon, give me a nature roll, please.
oh no.
All right, Leon, you managed
Nice.
to get both of the lizard gizzards, and you know an herbalist in town who will pay good silver for this, good ravens.
All right. Where
Alright.
else do we need to go, Leon?
Just a little bit farther up. Wasn't there... I'm looking my notes. I'm trying to type notes into this. There in the barrel, there was already a bounty for gizzards.
There was.
Okay.
She's playing 2 ravens. 2 ravens a gizzard. Now, ravens are the local. They're the largest denomination of coin in Breckenall. It goes sheens, feathers, and ravens. And you know that a raven is about half a gold piece.
That's decent money. I mean,
Yeah, it's 20 gold. Also, all of you get 40 experience points for that fight. Now, Mark, one of the differences
feel
between Pathfinder
experience.
2 and other versions of the game that we may be playing is that every level is 1,000 experience points.
remind me, where do you record that?
Under your class and level.
Oh, that would make sense. There you go. Boom.
I don't see that.
So click on the magnifying glass next to class and level under your main tab.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Yep, and every 1,000 experience points you get a new level.
So you said we got 1,000?
No, you just got 40. Nice try there.
3 lizards is all it took. It's a good day.
The XP needed, I can just write in 1,000 so I know.
Yeah. And again, kind of basically the idea is whenever we end up having to cancel one of the other games due to weather, or when I have a free night, I'm just going to put the call out and say, hey, who wants to play in the Corelands? And so you will just keep your running XP total, and when you level, you will level. So,
Can dig it.
all right, Mark, or Leon, you know the next junction is Junction 17C, which is where you're headed.
Yes. I get the gizzards once they're done healing. Are we ready to go?
Takes about 20 minutes for them to take care of you and then themselves.
Okay. I lead on and head to orient on the map to the south.
All right. You can hear the sounds of both like the sewers draining into the harbor, kind of that rushing noise, as well as every so often a soft lapping noise, as if there is other water that is nearby. Drips from the ceilings, the sound of your boots kind of pulling free of the scum and stepping back into it. There's no side troughs. This is a very
Squelchy walk.
squelchy walk. But eventually you do see the flickering lights of ever-burning torches, ones that would not give off actual flames. And you can see 2 big ruffians. They all are wearing the lower face masks, and the eyes that you can see kind of peering out under the cowls are a bright yellow.
Do I recognize these 2 guards?
No, not by person, but you know that some of the... You've heard rumors, Mark. You've heard rumors, Leon, that, well, there are some among the Thieves Guild, some of the more ruffian side that you have dealt with, who may or may not have a little bit of the Beastman blood in them. They usually go masked and cowled like this.
That's fine. And I know Crag employs some of these in his...
You know that Crag
Group.
employs some of these. Yeah.
Is Crag one?
He is not.
Okay. Come up. Nod to him. Crag put out word about Ruby Blade job.
They just kind of point silently, and you can hear, "Who is it?"
It's Leon.
Here to
Let him in.
Oh.
Is he alone?
I brought some friends.
The door opens and you can see a small work table has been set up. There's a small map of the sewers that's been like a gauntlet, a dagger, another dagger, and a pile of coins kind of holding the map open. And he definitely has little pins in there. Crag is a large man, not a tall man, but a large man. And you definitely see the marks of the Knight of Green Flame. His whole, like, he has no left ear. Most of the scar tissue just kind of runs down across his face. Leon, who's with you?
I introduce Lena and Nikolai.
Hello.
Don't normally truck with those who deal with the high heavens. They tend to frown on our line of work.
Well.
It's not. You're not wrong, but also, it seems like you are in the pursuit of justice.
I roll my eyes.
Oh, it does it?
Yes, you're seeking to clear your name and bring the true thief to justice.
Right.
That's something that
I step on his foot.
It squelches underneath your boot.
justice. We like justice.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, in the pursuit of justice. I assume that means you won't actually take any of the, any reward, right? Justice is its own reward. Isn't that what you guys are always spouting off about?
That's
That's what he says. I don't quite believe the same.
didn't say that. I mostly. Well, I think every workman is due his hire, even those who pursue justice.
Right. Someone broke into the college, stole some, one of those things that's got other things inside of it. I spin around. Keep track of stars.
Astrolab?
Ah, maybe. Apparently a big to-do. Some sort of very precise machinery, Anyway. Left one of our calling cards. Wasn't an authorized guild job, if you know what I mean.
I do. How big is this device?
From what Velkin said, do you know Velkin Danu?
Do I?
Give me a society roll.
Society? Society. 16?
You've heard of Velkin Danu. He's one of the he is a noble of the city who also happens to be one of the masters at the college. You know, a member of high society. God, one of the gods' gift to ballroom notoriety. That sort of thing.
Him.
He wants it back, willing to pay good ravens for it. Now,
And no one's bragging about the job?
Oh, there's plenty of people bragging about the job, and I happen to know where Ulian is. So, here's the way I figure. There's 3 of you. Finder's fee, broker's fee, that sort of thing. We each walk away with 25 ravens for the job.
Sounds good to me.
I can. That sounds good.
So,
Good.
again, 25 ravens is about 125 silver.
Right.
To put that in perspective, you all started with 150 silver worth of gear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
I spit in my hand and hold it out.
I don't know who taught you that, but he does the same thing. You notice kind of when he spits, just because of the burns, he kind of has to catch it in his hand, and then he wipes it off and shakes your hand. So, some little runt. He's been wanting to work his way up in the guild. Says his dad's one of our elite. No one's ever heard of Sadaru or his Da.
Could that just mean they're really good?
Yeah, that's probably it. We don't keep records. We're not like other guilds.
But I mean, if he's a good thief, then nobody ever knows.
So it's no question. It's not Ulian? Or is it-
Ulian is the guy's name. Sadaru is his dad's name.
Okay.
Listen, we've got to make a example. No unlicensed. 1, no unlicensed guild work. 2, no blaming the guild for unlicensed guild work. It's not proper. It's not justicey. And he looks right at you, Nikolai. Right.
Right.
High
not
heavens
personal.
frown on that sort of thing. Right? Falsehoods, bearing falsehoods, poking with falsehoods.
Could we maybe recover the items and then let him off with a strong warning? Something
chuckle.
like, don't ever do that again.
I just chuckle. Right. Strong warning.
Right,
As,
no,
as I
well,
slap my mace in my hand.
Yeah, that's a strong warning.
Well,
As my mom always used to say, any strong warning you can walk away from probably didn't take.
okay.
You got a problem with this? Holy Pants?
I mean, no.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the silent one.
Your mom
Vahan,
sounds like a wise woman.
she was. High heavens take her soul. Someday soon.
So you mentioned you know where they're hiding.
Right. He's out in Moonpole. So there are 3 extra city districts that have sort of grown up like boils on the backside of Elvarek. Moonpole is to the northeast of the city. It's a slum. Windheath
you
is outside the
that
city.
map with us?
What was that?
Can you share that map with us? I can see it on the iconic Twitch, but
Oh,
like,
yeah. Hey, how would this help?
yes, it's still loading, but I already feel better. Nah, lovely.
So
Nice,
Westgate
okay.
and Windheath are actually petitioning the city to you guys know this, to build a new set of walls. The price is pretty spectacular that they've set for this, but if it happens, then they would be part of Elvarek proper.
Right. Okay. So the guy that took something from the Ruby Blades is in Moonpole.
He's hiding there. It's my guess. He's got one of them places in a tenement building.
Mm-hmm.
They pack him in like...
Sardines.
I was going to say... Yeah, sardines is probably a better way to say it.
Mm-hmm. I bet it is.
Tighter than Lady Desnia's coin purse.
That's also an option that was probably better than your first thought.
Is it tight?
Yes.
I'd never heard that it was tight.
Anyway,
Do we have an accord?
so we're to go find this, bring it back, put it
Mhm.
back, and split the finder's fee with you.
Right.
Okay. Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. You're looking, as I said, for one Ulian Zamfir. He's a pimply-faced runt. If he's been running his mouth as much as I think he is, shouldn't be, and he kind of looks at Nikolai, too hard to spot in a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he understands, and he looks at you, Leon, the severity of what he's done. You're muted, sir.
I don't know why I did that. I just nod.
All right. You guys head out?
Yes.
I don't suppose there's anything he can give us to help.
What do you need help with?
Oh, maps, tokens to let others know that we are working for you. Healing potions.
He kind of... They say I'm the bloody thief.
We had a bit of a run-in with your guard dogs out front.
No, right.
It does keep the riffraff out.
All right. He will give you
Yes.
Never hurts to ask.
2 elixirs of minor life.
Okay.
And I will put that in the party treasure.
Oh, okay.
Where do we find that?
Underneath party sheet.
So if you go up to the upper right hand corner, mark the eye with the 3 and then the 3 like silhouettes.
Oh, I see that.
Click on that and then click on inventory and you guys will see the 2,
2 elixir of minor.
and you should be able to drag one by one off.
That's fine.
All right. So, you guys head back into the city.
Okay.
So Nikolai, Leon, and Lena, you head back out of the sewers as quickly as possible into the night air of the harbor, which normally bothers you. But after spending the last hour or so in the sewers, feeling pretty good about night air, smells of fish, and the docks. And you quickly make your way through Silverchurch and then out into beyond the wall into Moonpole. Now again, Windheath and Westgate, they're a little bit more affluent. They're the newer blood in Breckenall that has sort of expanded out and brought in new coin and, again, built outside of the walls purposely. Moonpole really isn't. Moonpole is people who get kicked out of their homes, people who have nowhere else to go. The city here is not planned. It's a little bit more large, open floor plan, sort of open family style, where 2 or 3 generations are living in the same, basically 4 posts and 4 walls and a roof that's thatched.
Down by the river.
Down by the river. So, as you kind of head there, you notice the guards are closing the gates up for the night.
Like that matters.
All right. The clanking of the chains as the portcullis kind of drops. The guards kind of wave at you, Nikolai. One of them seems to recognize you.
Do I recognize him?
You do. It's one of your cousins.
Hello, cousin.
Hello, Nikolai!
Have a good evening.
You too.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Rezvan is your cousin on your mother's side. Nikolai, are you sure you want to go out there? Moonpole is... It's not safe.
That is correct. I am here on an errand of justice. And at times, justice requires sacrifice.
Oh.
Hopefully, not my sacrifice.
Yeah, no, that's... Okay. I will be... You're going into Moonpole?
Yes.
Okay.
It was nice knowing you.
He kind of keeps looking around. And as you head off...
I have friends. We will be okay.
Uh-huh.
Good gravy, man.
I killed a acid lizard tonight.
Leon, you and Nikolai, as you guys kind of walk out of the city gate, you hear Rezvan kind of, he pushes his halberd and shield at the other guard. I have to go speak with my mother, and goes running off into the city. All right, so you guys head into Moonpole District. How are you going about finding?
Well, I tried a question on some of the skills. Thievery? It would have been clever, like lockpick, pickpocket, that kind of stuff?
Yep. So if you click on the red box at the far end of the skills, it tells you kind of what each one does. So thievery is your steal, your disable device, your pick a lock, your pick a pocket.
Okay.
If you are trying to find information, like from the how are you going about this? Like, what are you trying to do?
Well, I have this feat called Bargain Hunter.
Okay.
And, like, it talks about I can earn an income using diplomacy, spending my days hunting for bargains, and then, like, reselling them. Knowing that this young man has found something of value, I would go kind of to the grimy bargain hunting places, and seeing if anyone has heard of it and try to pinpoint where he is.
Okay. So that's what Lena is doing. Leon, what are you doing?
I'm reading about Rogues, Racket, Ruffian to see who I can strong arm.
You can definitely do a strong arm. Give me Lena, you're going to give me a diplomacy check. Leon,
Okay.
you're going to give me a intimidate check. And Nikolai, what are you doing, my friend?
I believe I shall go with Lena to ensure her safety.
Oh, good.
All right. Do you want to try and aid her?
Please.
So I would need to roll.
You would roll a diplomacy check as well.
Okay. Skills.
Have too many windows open.
Diplomacy. Here we go. I'm actually quite good at diplomacy. But the dice hate me anyway.
All right. Leon, what did you get?
Had to uncover all my stuff here. So my intimidate is a 14 as I hit the normal, easily swayed, and start inquiring about Ulian.
All right. So, Leon, you and Lena and Nikolai meet back up about an hour later. Lena, you and Nikolai have been greasing palms, talking with people. Leon, you've been breaking fingers in back alleys.
Or at least threatening to.
Does Leon break actual fingers?
If I need to. That's
Okay.
a threat, and then you escalate it, but...
Leon's not one to just get right to the finger breaking. That's where he starts and then goes up from there.
Yo, give me a hand.
They know where it goes.
When you guys come back, you definitely have a good idea of where to find this Ulian character. He has rented a small floor space in the common room of what is being called Tent Pole Tavern. It's a large 4-pole tent, and they're shilling out apparently really great deals on wine, as long as you don't mind the taste of vinegar.
It's a fine line.
It's a fine, fine line.
Okay, so we go in.
I think we if that's where this. Yes. Yes.
All right.
All right, let's
It
go.
it is a large gray. It looks like almost like a war, like a pavilion that like a noble would have. You can see you're not sure it was gray originally. There are some faded colors. There is some heraldry that has been painted over. You can't really tell what it was originally. And there is a lot of smoke coming out of the top, like vent on the tent. Maybe more smoke than you would anticipate. But there's the sound of laughter and fighting and drinking and fighting, some yelling, and also some fighting.
This location has significant local color.
As you say that, 2 men come tumbling out of the opening of the tent, seemingly intent on killing each other with their bare fists. They hit the mud and they slide and they splatter mud everywhere.
Does it seem like we can get in between the two of them?
If you would like to.
Stop it.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
I will get in between and push them off. Of
Give
each
me an
other.
athletics check.
Oh, good. I am good at that.
Oh no.
You go down in a pile.
My strength is decent. I wear a lot of armor. It kind of.
Leon, Nikolai, you see Lena go down in the muck and the mire, and these 2 guys, they're ignoring her. They just she got tangled up in their feet.
I raise my voice. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Nikolai,
No
give me
way. to resolve your difficulty.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Can I look around? Are there people watching this fight?
Nice.
There are definitely people not so much watching the fight anymore, but it's kind of like when like your child catches you on doing something that you've told them not to do and you feel extra ashamed. Nikolai, you raise your voice and the two men kind of stop and they look around for who's talking to them. And like mud just slides off the face of one of the guys as he looks at you.
I'm sure this can be resolved in a much less violent manner. Perhaps you simply require a drink, maybe.
Both of their eyes go bright and the guy on top kind of lets go. Well, if you're buying, of course.
Why, if that's what it takes to retain body and soul among us all, then why, of course, the drinks are on me.
Oh. You notice, Ben, that about 6 other people also cheer for you. Yeah, drinks are on that guy! And these 8 people, 2 of them covered in mud, kind of swarm around Nikolai and usher him into Tentpole Tavern.
So you were all fighting?
Yeah? No, all of us.
Was this something of a gang war, perhaps?
Well, you know what they say. When you're a raven for life. And they kind of punch you in the arm and snap their way to the bar. Leon and Lena, you were outside.
I help Lena up.
What was that?
I help Lena stand up.
Thank you. I think my pride is bruised.
And shall we enter?
Sure.
All right, as you get in here, there's no real rhyme or reason. There's a large circle of circular tables that may also have been like large spindles at some point that have been set up in a circle like a bar. The rest of the place is just like the ground has been trampled to mud. There are people sleeping in it. There are people sitting in it. There are people standing in it. They are drinking. They are talking. They are resting. Some may be passed out. Others might be dead. But there is a large grouping of people who have sort of not so much hoisted Nikolai on their shoulders, but are definitely lifting him up, trying to get the bartender's attention.
I have 16 silver. I hope that's enough.
We're about
That's
to
all
find
you
out if this
have?
goes real bad real fast, Ben.
Oh no.
What are you two doing?
I'm looking for Julian. I look at my notes.
All right, give me a perception roll. You may do so as well, Lena.
Thanks.
$23.
So Ben, by the way, it will take 1 silver to pay for all of the people around you who have brought you in.
Oh, I can pay for that.
Lena, there's cheering from the bar as Lena and Leon, you both see the guy you're looking for. He's kind of sitting off in the corner. There are several, at the far side, there are several spaces where like interior canvases have been drawn to kind of section out areas. And you can see he's sitting kind of cross-legged in the mud with a very expensive silk cape unfolded in his lap, and he's looking down at something.
I glance at Lena. Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
I move straight towards him.
All right. When your shadow falls on him, Leon, he kind of looks up and He has a very thin, very angular face, a sharp nose, very sharp chin. Again, very like pocked and marked on his face. And he has one green and one blue eye as he looks up at you. Oh, and he kind of quickly like throws the silk over what he was holding. Yes? Can I help you?
Did I happen to catch a glimpse of anything golden? Was it gold? I
Leon,
don't
you
remember.
did. You got a 23.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's the astrolabe in his lap.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have grapple? I just want to grab him by the hair.
Give me
Top of his
just an
head.
athletics check.
Oh, just going right in.
Is that just a basic melee?
Yeah, just give me a gauntlet.
Let me find my action. Oh, you
Oh, nuts.
He dips and ducks and dodges. You just slip a little in the mud. Excuse me? What do you think you are doing? Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is?
This voice is amazing.
Yes,
stupid
we
dice.
do. And we also know that multiple people are unhappy with you.
Are you unhappy with me?
Well, do you have something in your lap that you have stolen?
He starts to get a grim, and then you end that sentence with stolen, and he goes, maybe? Who would like to
And
know?
Did you leave the calling card of someone who you are not actually affiliated with?
I do not think I want to continue this conversation anymore. We
Then
are done.
Can I make a
No.
surprise attack?
Oh yeah, he's totally flat-footed.
Okay.
What are you doing? Nikolai, you can now see it. You are standing on one of those spindles, and people are cheering. They're calling you Nick, but you know.
That is all right.
Some
That
of them
is
are
what-
calling you Eli. It got a little lost in the translation as it kind of telephoned down the...
Thank you, my friends. I am so glad that we could settle this without violence.
That's right! No violence!
As I sneakily stick a dagger into Julian.
No. Oh, no.
He is flat-footed, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Now, how do I do the extra d6?
You'll just have to roll a flat d6.
Okay. Well, here's the first piercing damage.
All right.
And there's my extra d6. So he takes 10 points.
He
Dang.
takes 10
As
points
I-
of
yeah.
damage. So, Leon, you kind of grab him by the scruff and sort of reach down and slip him the old dagger.
I do.
And he kind of looks at you real funny. And what's really strange is like his head turns, but his face sort of remains in the same spot.
What?
And his face starts to crack and turn like parchment and starts to break apart and fall off.
Can I, if the astrolabe's about to drop, can I grab it?
It's in his lap. You can reach down and grab it.
Okay, I'll grab it.
And as the false parchment face sort of falls away, you see a much older man underneath with 3 eyes, one sort of kind of set above and between the other one, and sharp pointed teeth. And he kind of gurgles up a little bit of purple blood and then sags against your leg.
Do we know what that is?
Give me an occult roll.
No. Oh, fantasy grounds.
Oh.
I'm freaked out.
You have no clue what it is.
But Lena, you have. Is it Lena or Lena?
Lena.
Lena. Lena has the astrolab.
Yes.
Yes.
Does he have a cloak?
He has the cloak that was.
I think we should take his body back quick. Yeah, throw his cloak over his face and pick up his body and let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, she's my dagger. Covers. Case, pick him up. Make my way back out.
After he has left the tent and the astrolab is in my bag, I'm going to call to Nikolai. Say, hey, come on, let's go.
All right, but I put one more silver down on the
Oh my
bar.
gosh.
This is for my friends after I am gone. Another round for my friends.
Let's go.
Nikolai! Eli! Nick! Ole!
You, I don't even know your name, but if I did, I would also shout it at you. And then I will follow Lena out of the tent.
So, Nikolai, you need to get your cousin to open the gate.
I thought you said there was another way in.
Nah, I'm carrying a body.
Oh, did you kind of pick him up and take him with you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I pick him up, we cover him up, pick him up, take him out.
All right.
I
Everybody
feel
looks, it's
like
like,
perhaps this
It's too
will
much to
not.
drink.
This will not.
Yeah, nobody seems to care at all.
Yeah.
So
Like at all.
is this our friend?
Yeah, he's sleeping it off.
That
Long
he is.
sleep.
He is even more of a lightweight than I am.
Yes.
Or maybe he got started earlier. Well, all right. Then I will see if my cousin is at the gate. Is my cousin at the gate?
As you guys get back there, you do see Nikolai's cousin. He's pacing back and forth.
We're good.
Hello, cousin.
Nikolai, you're alive?
I have had a fantastic evening. I have spared the life of two men who were bound and determined to kill each other, and instead they have become best friends and are drinking a lot.
What? Is that man dead?
No,
No.
he is apparently also drunk. We are taking him home. I told you this was a mission of mercy. We have broken up fights. We are
Ben, I'm gonna need
taking-
a bullshitting roll from you. I think that's gonna fall under
Deception?
diplomacy or deception.
Okay,
Wait, no, you actually think he's drunk, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
That's
we
gonna
lied
fall
to
under
him.
diplomacy. If you just keep lying to the person who doesn't have to lie, then you sort of get around the system.
How's
Oh,
the 15 reply?
I am just so glad that you are here. And he opens up kind of a postern gate for you to get through.
Well, you know what, cousin? I am also glad that you are here. This is providential. If we had gone out any other gate on any other night, it would not have been quite so smooth. I am glad you are here. I clap him on the shoulder.
Well, it is good to see you. I will see you on first day for
Yes.
for meals.
Of course.
All right. He gives you like the customary kiss on two cheeks.
I guess I return that.
It's up to you. He gave
I
it
do.
to you.
It's customary.
All right. So very quickly, you guys get back to the sewers, and you get back to Craig's. That was only a couple of hours. Are you sure you got the right guy?
I pull the astrolabe out of my pocket, or out of my bag. Say, well, he had this, and this is what he was.
Pull a cloak off his face.
Do I know what that is? This is the first time I've seen him.
What in the abyss is that?
Exactly.
Ben, you can give me an occultism roll.
Okay. Here's the. All right.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
You have no clue.
Oh, fantastic. I thought you said he was drunk.
I mean, it looks like his lungs filled with blood. Maybe that's what they meant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you're sure this was? I mean, I guess he had the astrolabe.
He did.
You leave the body with me, Leon. That
Fine.
doesn't bode
Is
well
he?
at
Is
all.
he still? Is this thing still alive?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
I do pat him down to make sure I didn't leave anything important on his body.
He definitely had. Pull up my additional notes. He has a pouch filled with golden drachas, and drachas are the coin of Panthalos, and there are about 15 drachas in there.
Are you putting this on your sheet, Mark?
Right now I'm just trying to write some notes. But I will pull it off and I'll split it after we get away from Crag, so he doesn't take his cut. And we'll each
Right.
get 5 drachas.
Right.
Or if you want to put it on the party sheet, I guess. I don't know. It's easier.
No, put it on your sheet because you will each have individual treasure you'll need to keep track of.
Would that be under GP then?
Yep. So 15. Well, you should be able to put in.
5? It says PP, GP, SP, CP.
Okay, so drachas are each worth 2 gold.
So that would be 10 gold each.
10 gold each.
Everybody needs to add that.
But can we use them in town?
You'd have to find a money changer, or you'd
Okay.
have to find somebody who's willing to take enemy coin.
Right. Okay.
But that's also a hint of, and I think my associates have no problem exchanging those. But it does tell us that it's from the enemy city, so they're trying to start something here.
So, that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. You each have 80 experience points additional, bringing you to 120. That is for recovering the astrolabe and for uncovering whatever this thing is. Now, the next time we come together, you do have the ability, if you choose, to go speak with Velkin Denau, the master of the order, to see what's going on with this astrolabe and return it to him. So that is a story that you can choose to follow up the next time we play.
Okay. On my notes, if I click the button that says public, then other people can read it.
It should.
Okay. Is any way I can change new note? Hey, I can change it to, what should we call tonight?
Welcome to
Acid lizards.
The stolen
Acid
acid
lizards.
Man with 3 eyes.
welcome to Breckenall.
There you go.
Stolen astrolabe. All right.
You should be able to see that note.
I realize that we threw this together fairly quickly. I do appreciate the three of you for being willing to jump on and jump through hoops so that we could put something on together for the streamers tonight. I hope you enjoyed playing Pathfinder 2 and enjoying this sort of first view of the Corelands.
I dig it.
Yep.
I do.
enjoy it.
Yep, I do like it so far. So they're seeing everything on the Twitch
Yeah?
on Fantasy Grounds.
Yep.
Okay.
So we had Fantasy Grounds up. We had you three in one corner, and then we had me in the other. So
Okay.
again, as we need to come back to this, or as we have time to come back to this, I'm going to put it out to our patrons. I'm going to put it out to people here, part of Iconic family, and hopefully we will be doing more in the Corelands as we continue on through the journey that is Iconic Productions. So thank you all for tuning in.
Fantastic.
JD, our producer, thank you for everything that you did to get tonight up and running, and we will see you on Thursday, weather permitting, for the next installment of Fading Suns. So yeah.
Good times.